Today, I'm going to talk about the Triumph 17 after 100 miles. 9.39 miles, 9 minutes, 21 seconds per mile, 143 beats per minute on my run commute home today on an extremely windy day along the lakefront in Chicago. Had to divert my route a little bit from the normal route because parts of the path that I run along that's by the lake were just completely flooded out, and I didn't want to get knocked over by a wave and sucked into the lake this time of year in February in Chicago. But with today's miles, I was able to get the Triumph 17 to the 100 mile mark. Actually, I got it to 99.81. Usually when I keep track of these things, I make sure that I'm definitely over the 100 mile mark, but with today's conditions, so brutal, I was so cold out there, I couldn't quite get myself out there for even longer. So I hope you forgive me for not quite hitting the 100 mile mark, but 99.81, I'm gonna call it 100 miles. Now, before I get into my thoughts about this shoe at the 100 mile mark, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a pair of shoes that I purchased with my own money. No one sent it to me. No one's paying me to make this video or to wear this shoe. And no one's going to get a chance to preview any of this footage before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. Now, with the disclosures out of the way, let's talk about the Triumph 17 after 100 miles. Now, in terms of a quick programming note, we're in a different room than usual today. I'm in the kids' room. Everyone in my family is a little bit sick in one way or the other, so people are sleeping in different spots than they normally do to be more comfortable as they're sleeping, in terms of like sitting up while they're sleeping or whatever. So the place where I normally film, i.e. the living room, there's people sleeping in there, so no one happens to be sleeping in their own bed tonight, so I'm filming in the kids' room. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, the Triumph 17 is a shoe that I instantly fell in love with because it is a max cushion shoe that doesn't seem to have the normal max cushion shoe speed penalty that I've seen in other shoes in this category. They're using PWRRUN Plus foam throughout the midsole for this shoe. It's all PWRRUN Plus as far as I understand. And it's a newer foam from Saucony that's coming out in a lot of their shoes this year. And what it's supposed to do is provide a lot of cushion and impact absorption, but without muddling you down. So it's supposed to bounce that energy right back into your foot, so that way you can keep running quickly. And for the most part, it's delivering on that promise. The thing that this midsole reminds me of the most is definitely Boost, and you can tell by the way it looks. And in the way it feels, it seems to be responding very similarly. Other than the midsole, the thing that I've really been appreciating about this shoe is this area here in the heel cup and every part that touches where your foot goes into the shoe. It is just super comfortable. There's like a memory foam like material that's over here, and whenever your foot is in there, it just feels really great to have on, like kind of like pillows on your feet, not underfoot, but around your foot. And so it's just really comfortable, and I just look forward to putting the shoes on because of that. It feels really great. I do think that if it weren't the winter, this would be a really just hot zone and potentially stinky zone, because I think as sweat drips down your leg and as the shoes get wet, all that moisture is going to stay in there because this is basically sponges all over here. But for the winter time where I'm not really sweating at all, this is just really nice and welcome, and the entire upper has been keeping my foot a little bit warmer, so I'm really appreciating this as a winter shoe, even though this isn't specifically winterized as a shoe. As far as the rest of the upper goes, it's been nice and stretchy, just comfort all throughout. I have been getting it a little bit wet, I've been going through a little bit of salt and slushy stuff as well in terms of my usage over the last 100 miles in the shoe, and everything's holding up really nicely. The laces are nice and stretchy and puffy, so just super plush. Everything from the front all the way to the back in this shoe, and it's been holding up really well. No undue signs of wear and tear. In terms of that though, there is some on the outsole, although the outsole is holding up fantastic. So on the normal spot where I get the most wear, which is kind of this outside part of my heel, definitely seeing a lot of wear that's going on here, and that's probably because of the way I'm using the shoe, using it for my recovery days or my easy, slower days. So this part of the shoe is going to get a lot of use. And also because of that same use case, I'm not seeing a lot of wear in the forefoot. In fact, it's really hard for me to discern any real wear going on in here at all. I had to look really closely to find any signs of it. There is a tiny bit of it, but at 100 miles, this shoe is doing phenomenally well in terms of the way all this rubber is holding up on the outsole. Now the midsole, the way that it's been holding up, I mentioned it a little bit, it's very Boost-like. And in my initial review of this shoe, I thought that this shoe was really the shoe that Adidas should have made. I feel like this is what the ultraboost 19 or the ultraboost 20 really should have been. This shoe really does well at being able to just soak up all those miles. Now, I did take it for a tempo run. I'm at the point in my marathon training getting ready for Boston where I'm introducing now some tempo runs or some fartlek style runs. So on Monday, I had a 5 times 10 minutes on, 3 minutes off. So 10 minutes running at tempo pace, 3 minutes recovery in between each of those 10-minute intervals. And I did not like it for that. Now, I've been hearing from a lot of you guys in the comments that this is a shoe that you're using all around for your easy days and recovery days, but also for your speed work. I just didn't quite like it for that. I felt like the shoe was really slowing me down a little bit. I felt like I was running on something almost like a little small saucer of cushioned material up front. So it felt like very unforgiving and not flexible in this area. And by unforgiving, I don't mean that it was hard, but I just felt like it wasn't flexing in the way that my foot was flexing and moving in the ways that I wanted to. It didn't feel as natural as it does when it's at those medium or easy paces where it just feels like a really comfortable foot strike and a really comfortable shoe to run in. So I necessarily wouldn't recommend it for your faster run days. Now that particular day was really, really windy and my paces were reflected in that. And so that's not the only reason why I'm kind of like knocking it for the tempo run. It was more like how I felt trying to get through those intervals in terms of what my foot strike was feeling like and how natural it felt. I just didn't really like it. I'd put it maybe in the daily trainer category, but for me, this fits in that max cushion shoe category where it's really great for those easy days, long run days, or if you're a taller runner. I'm 5'10", but if you're a lot taller than that, this might be a really great daily trainer shoe for you. So those are my thoughts on the Triumph 17 after 100 miles. I've been really enjoying this shoe, and it makes me very excited for other Power Run and Power Run Plus shoes that Saucony is bringing out for 2020. I've been running in the Kinvara 11, which is a Power Run / Power Run Plus shoe, and I've been enjoying that as well. Other ones that are coming down the line, I'm definitely going to be picking up, so stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Now, before I go, I do want to talk about the charity runner for this week. This week it's Brad Lamb, and he's running the Boston Marathon and raising money for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. He's running the race in honor of his dad. This week is the last week that Unibed is going to be supporting the charity runners of the week. They've given us a promo code where 5% goes to you in terms of a discount and 5% goes to the charity runner of the week. So thank you to Unibed stepping up and supporting one of the members of this community. If you're thinking about buying Unibed gels anyway, use the promo code and you can help yourself and help everyone else out. So that would be really greatly appreciated. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?